Now's the point of a season where things really start building up on me. I'm looking at my tab list and seeing not just one, not just two, but 8, 9, 10 shows which I've already watched and need to get reviewed. Another handful of shows, another 6 or 7 which I need to watch and review as well. But all in all, the season hasn't really kicked off where I'd expect it to. Other than the first episode, there's been no real big, fantastic shows this season. And that does surprise me slightly. Maybe the good shows are ones I don't watch. Who knows? If I'm missing out, let me know in the comments. And join me as I look at the 4 more new shows airing this season. Hopefully at least one of them will be good. Because this is a 2021 autumn anime preview from a different perspective. First up today, we come back to a show which I'm always hopeful will be good, but I'm not holding out too much hope. Welcome to the world of Muv-Luv Alternative. Now, if you recognise the name, it's because we've had Muv-Luv Alternative animes in the past. In fact, we've had animes from other shows of this series as well. But Muv-Luv Alternative is the sort of mecha, aliens invading the Earth side story to a spin-off to a decent romance anime with some question marks. Now, if you're an anime fan in the noughties, you may remember a show called Rumbling Heart. Well, that show was just a basic romance anime. It's been ages since I've seen it, it's up there somewhere, but who knows. Well, that one, the visual novel, got a spin-off called Akane Maniacs, where the main female lead's younger sister joins the military, and I'm not quite sure exactly what goes on. And that also spun off to another version of Muv-Luv something or other. And that one spun off into Muv-Luv Alternative, which basically a gruesome death fest involving aliens and mecha. And here we are, Muv-Luv Alternative. It has had a couple of adaptations before this. So side stories like Muv-Luv Alternative Total Eclipse. I don't know about Total Eclipse of My Heart, that one's more Total Eclipse of a plot, as it sort of lost it halfway through, or even towards the start actually. It's had another couple of attempts in the past, I think Schwarzenmarker or something like that. But here we are, the original spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off, Muv-Luv Alternative. And there are characters which you half recognise in this one as well, especially if you've been browsing Steam looking for visual novels, because it's all over that place. But the beta are back, they're invading the Earth, invading Japan, and our main characters, well I think we're our main characters, are trying to fight them off with mecha and military. And, bit of spoiler, it doesn't go well. But all the characters you meet in the first episode die at the end of it, or are heavily traumatised by it. I've no idea where this one's going next. It's very brutal, very bloody, very let's have blood and guts for the sake of it. I mean, at one point, what looks like the main guy is relieved because he's trying to hide from a beta, and he sees someone trying to open his cockpit to try and save him. So he's suddenly got hope because he's trapped in his cockpit, he needs to get out. So the cockpit opens and it's a beta, killing him, crushing him, eating him. Nice. Yeah, hope dashed. Like this episode. Because Muv-Luv Alternative, it really is not for me. It's violent and bloody for the sake of being violent and bloody. I like a good mech show. This does not rank amongst a good mech shows in my book. If you do want to watch this one, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. On to SAKUGAN, an anime which can only really be described as a cross between Gurren Lagann and Made in Abyss, as a father and daughter team go on an adventure to try and find the lost lands of a labyrinth in a sort of like Gurren Lagann digging for treasures, cave dwellers setting. It's a decent premise, to be honest. The whole setting with Memempu and Gagumba, who for some reason I keep wanting to call Cucumber. His name just reminds me of Cucumber. But Memempu and Gagumba are a very good play off each other. I mean, they're clearly father and daughter. But Memempu is a super genius kid, whilst Gagumba is just a dad who wants to protect his daughter. Now, he doesn't start out being adventuring through a labyrinth. They're just workers trying to get some stones and mine stuff for day-to-day living expenses. But Memempu's got dreams of something greater. She wants to be a marker, a very dangerous profession where they go out and explore. Whereas Gagumbo just wants them to be workers, just mining the stone, gathering the ore, earning a basic living. But it is until one day, Memempu's had enough and says, look, I'm going out if you don't, even if you like me or not. Monsters attack, she finds a map to the place she wants to go to, one thing leads to another, and they basically go out charging into the world, trying to find this lost tower, which she's convinced exists, and she apparently has a map to it. As I say, this does remind me a lot of both Made in Abyss and Gurren Lagann. The one thing which it reminds me most of Gurren Lagann is the shouting. Don't get me wrong, Made in Abyss isn't a quiet anime, but these characters are just loud and obnoxiously loud at times. They have huge arguments in a mech, played out for everybody to hear just for laughs. I mean, again, yes, it's father and daughter team, they're going to argue, but the anime just feels like it's being loud for the sake of being loud. I'm going to give SAKUGAN a few more episodes. If it wasn't for the volume and the over-energeticness of the anime, right now there would be a green light. Instead, it's amber. I do recommend you watch it, maybe get a few episodes. I'm going to be watching a few more episodes. I'll drop it if it stays too loud. If you want to watch it yourself, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. When I used to play Magic the Gathering all those many years ago, in my terrible growing up period where I got conned out of loads of money for some pieces of paper with creatures on them, I used to play a white deck. I used to use a lot of angel cards. And I did that because I thought angels were really cool creatures. Powerful, cool effects. And so when I saw a show like Platinum End, it appealed to that sort of side of me, which I still like angels as a concept. I mean, I'm not a religious person. I like the way they look, that's all. So much to my horror, I watched Platinum End and I find out that it's not really a show about angels. It's a show about a horrible revenge fantasy of a guy who's committing suicide because his life is so bad. Finds out his life is bad because of his family has been dicking him around. His uncle killed his parents in order to get inheritance. Kept him alive and adopted him for the insurance money. And so it's saved by an angel, and Mirai learns the powers of flight and of Cupid's arrow. Although the first use of Cupid's arrow unintentionally is wrong. Intentionally and unintentionally. See, he's got two powers. One is a power of flight to give him freedom. One is a power of the arrow in order to give him love. Anyone who shoots with Cupid's arrow will love him, unconditionally. And so in order to learn the truth about what happened to his parents, he shoots his aunt. Yeah. He shoots his aunt with an arrow which makes his aunt love him. Now, after trying to peel his aunt off him, because he's not interested in that, he asks her a question, what happened with parents, and she confesses. Her and his uncle basically had him killed, for reasons that the angel told him. And he says something off the wall, saying, this is terrible, he should just go out and die. But he doesn't realise by saying it, because she loves him unconditionally and is so remorseful over the fact that she did that now, or she loves him, she does off herself. Which is really, yeah. It breaks him. He just basically told someone to die and they died. This is Death Note all over again. Actually, it is Death Note all over again. It's even by the same author. The guy made a Death Note basically decided to write another Death Note, this time as a revenge fantasy with angels instead of Shinigami. I don't think there's much more to say on that, really. It's definitely not a show for me. It's brutal, it's violent, it's psychological horror crap. Yeah. And to end of the day, they're doing all the killing because they want to become the next god. God will choose someone to be the next god by those of whom have got angels and been selected. So it's a revenge fantasy with god ambitions. Well, god ambitions, god awful more like. If you don't want to watch Platinum End, you can find it airing both on Crunchyroll and on Funimation. And finally say we have something to take the bad taste away of that last one. We have Taisho Otome Fairy Tale, an anime about a kid in the Taisho era who loses the use of his right arm. and that being his dominant arm, he's basically disowned by his family. He's no longer useful to them as a worker. So he's left in despair, abandoned by his family, is given a house to live in and just hide away for the rest of his life. However, his family isn't horribly cruel. I mean, they're cruel and horrible, but not truly terrible, since they say, okay, we'll buy you a wife to live with. I mean, this was a Taisho era, obviously Japan. And so one day, a cute girl turns up at his doorstep saying, I'm here to be your wife. Of course, he doesn't really want anything like that. He doesn't want to have a wife bought into servitude to him. But she is the most beautiful, bright, cute, she's the most adorably cute little thing you've ever seen in your life. And so we enter into the world of Tomohiko and Yuzuki, getting to know each other, and potentially becoming husband and wife. Because Yuzu definitely wants to be his wife, and Tomohiko doesn't really want much to do with it at all at the moment, but we'll slowly warm up to it, I'm sure. Now, again, not a lot goes on to this one. It's very much introduce you to the characters episode and the whole premise of the entire thing. But it's not fair to tell me it's a good show. I want to watch more of it. I want to learn more about Yuzuki, her friends, whether or not she can go back to school because she dropped out of school in order to become his bride. Will Tomohiko ever be useful again? I mean, losing your right arm doesn't mean you're completely useless. I mean, it's his dominant arm. I mean, it could always be his left arm. I don't know which arm his dominant arm actually is. Actually, there's a picture of it right there. It is his right arm. Because of me watching these characters grow close to each other in a sort of historical setting, but not this is a historical setting and this is what the entire anime is about. It's just a boy meet girl anime, just with a different setting. And that's the type of anime I do like. But it's definitely one I'm going to go back and watch more of. And if you like this type of show, you definitely want to watch it as well. You can find Taisho Otome Fairy Tail on Funimation. And today's shows were Muv-Luv Alternative, SAKUGAN, Platinum End, and Taisho Otome Fairy Tail. What did you think of them? I'll let you know what I thought. Let me know in the comments what you thought of them as well. And join me next time as I look at 4 more new shows. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Bye bye.